What's up, JuJuan Buford here with a 6 a.m., I guess, small play as opposed to my usual 5 a.m. And what I want to talk about is a conversation I recently had with a good friend and business partner about the killing, the disrespect, the cacophony, the dissonance, everything that's going on in our community. She's a police officer, and as a result, she is in the field and she sees the best and the worst of us, right? She gets a chance to take a snapshot of everything. And she asked me what I thought the resolution was to it. And my response was very simple, that the killing won't stop, the disrespect won't stop, the last hire, first fire won't stop, other people coming into our community, dictating the terms of our success and dictating the rules of engagement and occupying our focus, which is the most valuable thing we have, is our energies and focus. None of this stuff is going to stop until we become people of consequence. The reality of the matter is our lives are cheap. That's why they can gun down African Americans, particularly African American men, without fear of reprisal, because we're not people of consequence. We don't bring consequence. You gun down people from other communities, other ethnic groups, and you know there's going to be an immediate response. Someone's going to lose a job, heads are going to roll, there's going to be a monetary penalty, whether you be an individual, whether you be a company, or organization, or even a government, right? And when you look at historically what's transpired in this country, you see there are certain groups that are protected, right? More so than others. It's because they can bring consequence. You gun down someone from another community, the country in which they hail from is going to bring consequence. Culturally, because they're organized, they're able to bring consequence. And I guess more than anything else, this is a message that I want to deliver to African American men in particular. I'm just going to be straight up, be real. That's where we need to focus 100% of our energies, becoming people of consequence. We got to become the employers. We got to become the opportunity providers. See, when you are the opportunity provider and the employer in your community, there's consequence for taking you down or taking you out, right? When you're the employer, people in the community know you just gunned down the person that owns the trucking company. You just gunned down the person that provides jobs for me, my family, my ability to eat, my ability to take care of myself, put kids through school. Have you lost your mind? You just gunned down the person that owns a grocery store. You just gunned down the person not only works at the bank, but actually owns the bank. They're providing the loans and the monetary well-being that's required for me to grow my business and buy cars and do the things I need to do for my family. We have to become people of consequence. When you are last hired and first fired, you're always behind the 8 ball because you're always concerned about where your next check is coming from. And when your stomach is touching your back financially, when you know you are unstable financially, it's hard to speak in a certain kind of way. It's hard to move in a certain kind of way. It's very difficult to take a stand because you know you can literally lose your livelihood. And this is a conversation it's just we're not having enough in the community, right? We need to become the employers. We need to become the opportunity providers. We need to become the individuals that actually have some control and some say-so in the distribution of assets and monies and capital. Until those things happen, none of this is going to stop. The violence isn't going to stop, whether it be from inside our community or outside of our community. Because until we move in a certain kind of way, where we are managing the finances and capital in our community, we're the ones, once again, providing the opportunities to our children, our sons, our daughters, our aunts, our uncles, our fathers, whatever. This is just going to be the reality of the matter, right? So you can do all the protesting in the street you want to do. I'm about that life. But protests shouldn't be just about getting attention. Like, protests worked in the past because they brought financial consequence. The Montgomery bus boycott worked not because they took to the streets. It worked because they brought financial consequence to the community around them that was treating them badly. And until we just figure that piece out, it's not going to stop. So we have to become the person that owns the truck company, the bus company, the plumbing company, the carpentry company. We have to become the individuals that actually start and own banks. We have to take ownership so we can move in a certain kind of way, so we can bring that consequence to people's doorstep. And we have to do it in a way where we move in unison. We can't be just disorganized noise out here, right? And until we commandeer, right, what's going on in our community, none of this stuff is going to stop. It's the reason why I chose entrepreneurship. It's the reason why I've dedicated a large part of my adult life to helping other entrepreneurs with the technical assistance, knowledge, tools, things they need to grow and scale so they can actually become the employers of tomorrow and today, right? And that was my response. I normally don't wade into these waters because I don't want to get tied up and stuff like this. I mean, right now, what's required of me by my business, the people who rely upon me to be successful and to be supportive, by my children, is for me to focus on acquiring and aggregating as many resources as possible and utilizing my talents to the hilt to do just that. So I try not to wade into these waters, but this was weighing real heavy on me and I just couldn't ignore it anymore. So that's my response. Now, there's no one solution to the cajillion problems that are going on out there, but we don't need to focus on everything. We just need to focus on the things that matter most. So once again, we have to put ourselves in a situation where our lives aren't cheap. Where being gunned down, there's a penalty for it. Where when someone is disrespected and maligned in our community, there's a penalty for it. A lot of the nonsense that goes on in our community, the reason why our culture is in such disarray is because we, and once again, I'm speaking more specifically of men, but particularly African-American men, we have to become the individuals who are leading with activity, leading with commerce, leading with organization, leading with strategy. We have to become people of consequence. We got to make it too expensive.